Welcome back to the Connect Show, Texas. And if you're just joining us, London Knighton and Kat Lopez Shelby are co-hosting with me today. Kat owns her own technology consulting agency, and she is here sharing her expertise.
Kat, speaking of your services, how do you decide and differentiate which technology services best fit each client?
So really what we do is similar to like when a doctor takes a holistic view to you as like a whole body person. That's the same thing that we do with our clients. We really want to understand like what makes their business work, what makes them money, and what their priorities are. And knowing those things helps us to be able to make a customized plan with like the over 600 different suppliers that we can provide for them to make sure like we're helping them improve their customer service. We're helping them improve their cybersecurity stack. We're making sure that they have built-in redundancy so they can stay active. I mean, I know we've talked about it a lot from the start of this of how important technology is to our businesses. But I mean, really, everything is changing all the time. And, not just that, but how people want to connect with you and your business has changed. It used to be look through the yellow pages and find a number, where now people want to be able to, send you a chat. They want to be able to text message you. We want to make sure that we're helping our businesses future proof and go towards making them more money.
So good, Kat. It sounds like you are making sure your clients are covered and well taken care of. Mm-hmm. So women make up only 28% of the STEM, which is a science, technology, engineering, and math. For those of you that didn't know what that was, workforce. As a woman in an industry that is underrepresented like us, what are some challenges you face as an entrepreneur?
So I actually really love this topic, and it's something I'm super passionate about because I still go to meetings and trainings where I'm the only female in the room. And, I always say, just give me a little inch, open that door a little bit, and I'm going to kick it open, because I think it's so important for businesses like myself and people like me to, and use the term, to set the example. Like, hey, you can own your own business. Hey, you can make space for yourself within the tech industry. There's really nothing stopping you in today's age. And I mean, I always point out when I go to a conference or something like that in the feedback, hey, you had 115 speakers and 5 were women. Like, what's going on? Because I know we're everywhere. So things like that.
Glad you're not letting it stop you, and glad you're getting in there, even if you are the only woman. Mm-hmm. Yay to you, Kat. So, Kat, can you give our guests 2 or 3 tips on using technology to increase income right now, but particularly with AI?
I think the biggest thing you can do with AI is if you have any type of easy and quick fixes. So, and I'll use the example, we have a client that's a bank, and they did not have a way for someone to check their balance over the phone. I mean, just think about having like a person on there having to go into the account, whereas something that takes 5 to 10 minutes, like put in your passcode, set up the security, and do. I mean, it's simple things that make a huge difference. If you're talking more of like a service industry, this can help your revenue. Have a way to automate text message reminders like, hey, we're coming out to service today. So that way your technicians aren't driving on site and there's nobody home or somebody forgot. Little things like that really make huge improvements. And there are things that you can automate and utilize AI.
So many great tips, Kat, and there are so many that can benefit from your services right here. So tell everyone, what's the best way to connect with you, to hire you, to work with you? Can you share with our guests?
Absolutely. You can always go to our website and send us an email. It's info@shelbyts.com. That's a great way to get in touch with us, or give us a call and we can set up an appointment.
Yes, I'm sure they'll keep right up, Kat. And you guys know we love the cash flow, right? But it's time to switch gears and get into some hot topics. But this one is actually right up your alley, Kat, because it deals with the genetic company 23andMe. You guys have heard of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. I've gotten my genes tested before. And this is one of those companies who you send your DNA to, they test your genes, and hopefully, your genetics come back with matches of where you are from, where you and your family are from. Well, their systems have been cyber hacked, sending millions of people's users information in their, sensitive information out into the cyberspace for all to see. Over 1 million have been hacked already in the month of October. Wow. The hacker actually goes by the name of Golem, published the genetic profiles on the cybercrime marketplace breach forums. Now, Golem claims that the profiles include some of the wealthiest families serving Zionism, as well as some of the wealthiest families in the US, as well as Europe. Can you imagine having your information just floating out in cyberspace? I personally can't. Now, 23andMe have released a statement letting all customers know that they were hacked. Have you guys ever used 23andMe?
So I haven't used 23andMe, and I know I have I like to say a conspiracy theory concern, but the thing that I think about is having that kind of information breach, because I know like with some of these, I don't know if it's specific for 23andMe, they'll do a DNA analysis that talks about things for your health. And so all those things can be used like when you go for like life insurance and things like that, or necessarily used against you. So, I personally haven't. I'm not going to say that I never will. I mean, it's something I definitely have wanted to look into. But I mean, as well as like, who wants their dirty laundry out there somewhere? Like, you may have a half sister or a half cousin or, something just out there crazy like that. That is what gets me.
I personally have not used it myself, but my daughter has. So now I'm worried. So, Kat, with you being the expert in this field, what action, if we should take any action, what should we take with this happen?
So I think this should be taken as any type of hack. Like if you're involved with that company, is find out, number one, were you affected? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, depending on what information was actually released, that's kind of where you make a plan of action. Like if your credit card was released, or that, your health information was released, you want to put protections out there, whether that's, some type of fraud block, whether that's, do a dark web review or have someone do that. Obviously Shelby Tech does that, but reach out to someone and say, hey, I want to find out, do we have any leaked confidential information that's out there, so that you can kind of protect yourself in the long run, things like that.
That's so good to know. Thank you very much for that information, Kat. And speaking of leaked information, Britney Spears, her memoir, The Woman in Me, is out. And before the book even hit the stands, Britney made headlines for some of the secret her new look has revealed. So from the termination of her and Justin's baby to steamy affairs with actors. So what do you ladies think? TMI, or should she share her story?
I personally think everyone should share their story, especially if you're at a point in your life where you feel comfortable to do so. It's so freeing and therapeutic to write and share your story. And it may help others see you in a different light, understand you more clearly if you aim for that, or just to, like I say, be therapeutic for yourself. I did not know these tidbits before the book was released. So I'm on edge. And I'm hearing that it's, causing maybe some tiffs for JT now. And it's just interesting as this talk comes up about men's role in women's reproductive rights. It's all interesting. So
I'm with you, Kat. I love the transparency, especially, for someone as famous as she is. Women can learn so much from her memoir. How about you, Kat? What are your thoughts?
I think her getting her story out right now is so important. And I think to a certain extent, it gives everyone kind of like, oh, here's her mindset, or here's what she went. So you have a better idea of what that tumultuous time was really like for her, and what, not like what cause and effect there was. So it's not just kind of like the tabloid version of everything.
Absolutely. And in other celebrity news, Kim Kardashian reveals she hired a nanny, which is a male nanny, ladies. So on a recent episode of The Kardashians, the 42-year-old reality star discussed the difficulties of raising her 4 children. I can imagine. She's a busy woman. Yeah. She then goes on to discuss her decision to hire a nanny, stating, I really wanted a male around that would be picking them up and taking them to sports. And I was scared out of my mind to tell their dad that. What do y'all think of a Manny? Would you hire one?
So I've had one before. No, and I always like to preface this, it was a family member. But I mean, obviously, I think that, both feminine and masculine energy to a certain extent are important in raising kids or having that type of environment around. So, I mean, I feel like, why not? Just as women can do jobs that men can do, men can do jobs that women can do. So I say it's all good.
No lies told, Kat. And I agree with you. I feel like now the only thing I don't think there should be like anything hidden from their father. Like, okay, if you hire a man, you hire a man. They, like you stated, Kat, children need male and female presence in their life, I believe. If they have it, that doesn't mean they will fall into lack per se, but there's good to have that presence around, especially raising, she has male children as well, so there's that. But just keep everyone in the loop. I feel like when you are honest, that's the best policy. And honesty also keeps everyone level-headed. Surprises are the thing. Like if I have to hear about some man raising my child through the tabloids, I may feel a bit different versus if I heard it from you.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Great point. So yes, London. Well, ladies, I am loving these hot topics, but stay close, Texas. We'll be right back after this break with more headlines, so stay tuned.